You're learning wrong. Fix it. Let's be real. You suck at learning. It's not entirely your fault, though. Schools taught you to memorize useless junk for a test, puke it out onto paper, and then forget it immediately. That's not learning, that's academic diarrhea. If you actually want to retain information and master a skill, you need a different approach. One that doesn't make you feel like you're bashing your head against a wall. Let's fix this mess. Chapter 1. Stop absorbing, start doing. Most people think they're learning when they read, watch, or listen. That's cute. But here's the hard truth. Input alone is useless. You can read every book on swimming, but if I toss you into the ocean, you're still going to drown like a clueless rock. Learning happens when you do. Want to learn a language? Stop memorizing 10,000 words like a moron and start having awkward conversations immediately. Want to code? Don't binge tutorials. Build something. Break it. Fix it. Repeat. The only way your brain gives a damn about remembering something is if it feels real. So stop being a passive sponge and start getting your hands dirty. Chapter 2. The 80-20 rule, because you're wasting your time. You think you need to master everything before getting good at something? That's a joke. The Pareto principle says 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Translation? Most of what you're trying to learn is useless. If you want to get good fast, focus on the critical 20% that actually matters. Learning a language? Master the 1,000 most common words and ignore the fancy, unnecessary fluff. Playing guitar, get down the basic chords before fantasizing about shredding like a rock god. Studying history? Instead of cramming every date like a nerd, focus on the biggest turning points. Be ruthless. Cut the crap. Focus on what moves the needle. Chapter 3. Active recall. Force your brain to care. Rereading the same thing over and over? That's called wasting your life. Instead, use active recall. Force yourself to remember information without looking at it. Close the book and try to explain what you just read. Struggling? Good. That means your brain is actually working. It's like lifting weights. If it doesn't hurt, you're not growing. Repetition strengthens memory. The harder your brain has to fight for the answer, the stronger the neural connection becomes. Think of it as building a mental six-pack, except most people prefer staying mentally obese. Chapter 4. Spaced repetition. Cramming is for idiots. Cramming works for passing a test, then promptly forgetting everything. If you actually want to keep the knowledge, use spaced repetition. Study in intervals. Here's the plan. Day 1. Learn something new. Day 2. Review it. Day 4. Review again. Day 7. Review once more. Each time you revisit, the memory strengthens, like carving a deeper groove into your brain. Want to know why geniuses seem to remember everything? They don't cram. They space things out and reinforce them over time. Chapter 5. Deliberate practice. Stop practicing what you're already good at. Most people practice by repeating what they're already comfortable with. That's called playing it safe. Want to get better? Attack your weaknesses. If you suck at drawing hands, draw 1,000 hands until it stops looking like horror movie garbage. If your chess strategy is weak, study the games that crushed you instead of replaying your wins. It's painful. It's frustrating. But that's how you get better. Stop coasting, start suffering, and level up. Chapter 6. Teach it or shut up about it. You don't really understand something until you can teach it to someone else. And no, explaining it once in your head doesn't count. Actually, verbalize it. Record yourself teaching it. Or better yet, make a tutorial video. When you try to explain something clearly, you'll immediately see where you're clueless. If you can't teach it, you don't know it. Period. Chapter 7. Engage all senses. Trick your brain into learning faster. Your brain loves variety. If you only learn in one way, you're slowing yourself down. Instead, want to learn Spanish? Read, listen to native speakers, watch Spanish movies, write it down, and speak it out loud. Learning anatomy? Draw the diagrams, explain them, quiz yourself, and teach someone else. The more ways you engage with the information, the stronger your memory. Stop limiting yourself. Chapter 8. Make learning fun, because if it's boring, you'll quit. People give up because they make learning a soul-sucking chore. Instead, turn it into a game. Compete with a friend, use learning apps, track your progress. Set rewards, hit a milestone, treat yourself. Use streaks, make consistency feel like an addiction. Dopamine drives motivation. Keep it fun, or you'll quit like everyone else. Chapter 9. Destroy distractions. Multitasking is a scam. You think you can learn while scrolling TikTok? That's cute. If you're multitasking, you're half-assing. Turn off notifications. Close useless tabs. Put your phone on silent. Do one thing at a time and you'll actually retain information instead of getting half-baked knowledge you forget 5 minutes later. Chapter 10. Sleep and rest, because your brain needs time to process. If you think grinding all night is the key to success, congratulations, you've played yourself. Sleep is when your brain organizes everything you learned. If you skip it, you're basically pouring knowledge into a leaky bucket. Take breaks. Sleep well. Let your brain consolidate information instead of turning into mush. You're either getting smarter or staying dumb. You now have the blueprint to learn faster. You can either use it or keep doing what everyone else does, wasting time, cramming useless facts, and wondering why nothing sticks. Your choice: level up or stay average.